Hi, Taurus Nation. This is going to be your June 2020 prediction. It's good for the sun, rising, or moon sign of Taurus. Keep in mind, as always, this is a general message. It's not a personal message meant for just one person, so it's not going to resonate with all of you. Check your sun, rising, moon, and Venus placements. You could find messages there. If you're looking for career messages, check out your Jupiterian placement as well. I find that a lot of my Jupiter placement messages that I watch help me with career as well. And you can find all of those on this channel. They'll be all zodiac signs will be finished by the end of the week. This is a general message. I don't encourage cross watching, but it's okay to cross watch if you have a really special, important relationship with a Taurus and you want to see how they're doing. You might have to swap the roles, but I really don't mean for the June or the monthly predictions to be cross watcher videos. Watch for your own sign. It's better for you. It's healthier too. Okay. If you want a message to resonate with you 100%, book a private reading with me. The link to my website for scheduling is in the description below. And if you're new to the channel, Bull Gang, welcome, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when I read for your sign. Okay. I've gone on for a minute. Let's get into it. Taurus. This month is going to be about self-care and really paying attention to your own clear abilities and intuition and giving those around you that truly care about you a chance to be there for you when you need them. Judging by the way your Celtic cross goes, I see you pouring your heart into a lot. But by the end of the month, I think you guys are going to be faced with a heart to heart conversation with a person that you will have a choice to make because you do end on the hangman. From my color oracle deck, the card that came out for you was orange. This is the connective energy that's going to tie your whole month together. Nurture yourself. This is a month to practice self-care first and foremost. You guys are kings and queens of pentacles. You are the Hierophant as well. You're deeply rooted in tradition and family. You're ruled by Venus. You're very nurturing, grounded, practical people when you're at your best. But when you are giving, 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 giving to the world, like the Knight or the Queen or the King of Pentacles is, you can often fall out of balance. So please nurture yourselves first and foremost, because this came in the reverse for you. So some of you need to take a little bit better care of yourselves. Please take care of yourselves, Taurus. I never met a Taurus I didn't absolutely love. I'm a Libra. We're both ruled by Venus. You guys are very special to me. You're my sister sign. So the archangels wanted to talk to you. This deck doesn't always want to talk. They really wanted to talk to you. All the angels want to talk to us all the time. But Zadkiel and Uriel came out for you, and you got two cards of clair abilities. Heightened clair intuition right now this month, Taurus. As Zadkiel says, clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. And Uriel came out for you as well, but in the reverse, claircognizance. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So what I think these two cards mean together for you, Taurus, is that you have been hearing some clairaudience. Clairaudience is actually difficult to pick up on. You think it's just thoughts rambling around in your head. But if you notice any synchronicities or you notice anything specific happening in your body, like you get chills or tingles, maybe an ear starts to ring, or like your fingertips go numb, or you get cold or you get hot, that's a sign that you're having clairaudience, okay? Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. There might be people around you that really truly love you, that are trying to give you some advice. They're trying to get you this month to listen to your own best guidance. And you do have the Hierophant in reverse, which is your card. But the Hierophant in reverse is about being your own best teacher and breaking away from what everyone tells you. So make sure you're only getting good advice from the right people and the right sources. But they want you to notice your clairaudience. Some of you are kind of trying to ignore some thoughts and ideas that come to you because they're not answers to your prayers. Not all prayers will be answered here on planet Earth. And sometimes when we don't like the answers that we get, we push out things in front of us, thoughts and ideas, and even facts and information right in front of us that we don't want to pay attention to. Listen to your own voice and pay attention to thoughts that ideas that come to you, especially the ones that come to you like that. That's a claircognizance. It's an instant knowing. You're more psychic than you think you are. If it's hard to hear something, it's hard to hear something, but be humble and listen to those around you that you love and push out negative, lower energy. Okay. You have very heightened intuition this month, Taurus, but it will only perpetuate itself and work in your favor if you nurture yourself first and foremost. So self-care this month, listening to your own clear senses is key. What's at the center of your Celtic cross? I love it. It's beautiful. The Knight of Cups, but the Five of Wands in reverse flew out with it. So this month, I see you guys being Romeo in your own lives. You could be dealing with a Knight of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign. Knights come and go. They've got something to prove. They carve their way in the world. It's very creative. It's very romantic. It's very charming. It's very imaginative. It's like Don Juan, Romeo. We pour our heart into something. You might be really wanting to pour your heart into something as opposed to dealing with some tension. This is not a bad way to go. You know, we pour on the love, anyone that's Venetian ruled. The Five of Wands in reverse is about facing inner conflict and conflict avoidance and tension release, having a hard time with disagreements, competition, diverse opinions. I see a lot of you pouring love into a situation to help relieve tension. This might be happening at work because the challenge is the Eight of Pentacles. Or perhaps you or a person you're dealing with is pouring on the love, but avoiding some of the tougher stuff. I don't think the Knight of Cups is the wrong way to go, but it can be a little bit exhausting because the challenge is the Eight of Pentacles. So, whatever you're working on here this month, the challenge is this could be a person you work with, or this could be about work. Yes, I love this job, but whew, I feel a lot of tension in my environment that I need to avoid, or a relationship or something like that. The challenge is that, and the catalyst is the Eight of Pentacles. That's an apprenticeship. It's repetitive tasks. It's a skill development that we do over and over and over again until we master it. This is mastery. Some of you are going to be working a lot and pouring your heart into something. Don't be afraid of a little bit of conflict or challenge. You've got this. You can do it, Taurus. Again, for some of you, this has to do with career. But it's also the challenge is keeping up a steady routine. Practice makes perfect. Anything worth having in this world is worth working for. Um, don't forget to step back and look up. You might be dealing with a person that you're really trying to pour your heart into it with them, but they're sort of avoiding you and being like, I'm busy, or vice versa. This combination of card could mean any number of things. Just remember, sometimes, Rome wasn't built in a day. We do have to practice something until we get it perfect. This is about mastery of pouring your heart into stuff. Perhaps some of you are helping to be referee in a group environment this month as well. So that could be what's happening. What's driving you guys? The Three of Wands in reverse. This is a card of divestment. The Three of Wands is about progress and expansion, about foresight, and it's about opportunities, even far away. It also means we kind of stand there and wait for something to come to us. I think you've been pouring your heart into something in June, Taurus, and you've been putting a lot of work into it, and that's been the challenge. But I think you get to a point in June where you're like, you know what? I really lack foresight. There have been a lot of unexpected delays. I feel like I'm still holding on to the past a little bit. I'm lacking in some confidence. If this has anything to do with distance or travel, you're not a fan of that. And I think you're going to kind of play it small. Watch out for unexpected delays. Don't be afraid to have foresight in your life. The Three of Wands in reverse also becomes somewhat impatient. So keep your confidence levels up. It might be just time to kind of go back to the drawing board because you kind of lack foresight. Yes, you want to pour your heart into it, but I think someone won't get in there and duke it out with you. Make sure you're not working and working and working and working on something without much of a plan. Okay, that's the only issue I see with the Three of Wands in reverse. In the past, recent past, that's contributing to June, Ten of Swords in reverse. So, healing from painful endings, deep wounds, loss, crisis, health issues, even. When the Ten of Swords comes in reverse, we're either avoiding a very inevitable painful ending and we're putting it off, or someone else's, but it's usually about a regeneration, and we recover. Yes, it can mean resisting the inevitable, but usually this is about defiance over defeat, knowing it's always darkest before the dawn. We begin to get over something and we can pour our hearts into it. Maybe that's why you're playing it small for now and you don't have a lot of foresight, because right now this seems to be a month of nurturing yourself and sort of getting in touch with all the things you're thinking and feeling and the things that other people are telling you, and not feeling 100% comfortable with some of the things you're thinking and feeling and being told. So maybe you need to kind of go within for some inner alignment. And I think some of you are afraid of getting hurt. and badly hurt, or you're trying to recover from something, even something painful. Your crowning thoughts. This is your advice from your own soul. This placement is always different for me. When I do a Celtic cross, I don't use this placement to be what are you thinking about all the time. This is the advice that you're meant to hear from your own guides. The Hierophant in reverse and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Typically, Spirit gives us advice of cards in the upright. But cards in reverse are a part of life, and they're about going within and redirecting energy while you're learning some major lessons. The Hierophant is you. You're the Hierophant, Taurus. They're telling me to tell you you're not quite feeling like yourself in a situation. But the Hierophant in reverse can be many things. It sometimes is the marriage card. The Hierophant can be the marriage card, but the Hierophant is about spiritual wisdom and religious beliefs. It can be about conforming to our community and tradition and the institution. It's making an investment in the self and taking a modest, pious approach. In the reverse, the Hierophant's about nonconformity and challenging the status quo and wanting freedom. Sometimes it can mean clinging to old ways, but sometimes it's meant to ask you the question, what is the lesson? Is this bringing out the best in me? Do I need to conform to what my family and society and religion and the institution tells me? I can be my own best teacher sometimes. I have my own personal beliefs to uphold first and foremost. Sometimes, the Hierophant in reverse can mean divesting in something, getting out of a serious commitment, maybe leaving university, maybe leaving a big company. It's a moment where we need to look at old ways that we're still clinging to, think about the lessons we still need to learn, and know that first and foremost, our freedom and challenging the status quo, marching to the beat of our own drum, and our own personal beliefs are just as important as everyone else's. If you're feeling out of sorts, that's okay. It can also mean that some of you are resisting some counsel in some way. Remember your oracle cards here. If there are people around you that are not well meaning and you're pushing them out, fine. But if you need help, if you need spiritual guidance, if you need medical attention, if you're having a hard time accepting some things you're thinking and feeling and hearing, be humble. Yes, you're pouring your heart into something, but you're also clinging to the past. I'm seeing two cards of clinging to the past here. I think it's because you just need a little bit more emotional support. I have the Queen of Cups here. So this could be a water sign around you, or you could have water in your chart. You could be the Queen of Cups here. She can sometimes be a mother or a wife, but not always. The Queen of Cups is very compassionate and very caring. She rules her whole world with her heart. She's very emotionally mature and intuitive and in flow and stable. When the Queen of Cups flips into the reverse, that's because she is tired of holding this cup and tired of adhering to the institution. This is a month where you're going to be really in your feelings, Taurus. You might have a hard time being in flow. You might have a hard time with emotional stability. It is hard to be the Queen of Cups. That's why I'm happy being the Queen of Swords. I think it's easier to be the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Pentacles. When we embody Queen of Cups energy, it's difficult. This is a month where we face codependency issues and being in our feelings. We focus on health and focus on our own bodies. It's a month of self-care and self-love and focusing on freedom, okay, while you work through issues of emotional intuition and any emotional stability issues you're having. I think it's a month where you really can't pour into anybody else, or some of you are facing some codependency issues and you're clinging to something old. So be aware of all that. Maybe some of you want to step out of a role of serious commitment in a relationship or a job, and now you're wanting to be in night mode, or perhaps you're dealing with someone that way. Watch for codependency, okay? That's important because the actions you're taking are the Star in reverse. Some of you have been dealing with an Aquarius. If so, you're not now. The Star is about healing. The Star is one of the best cards you can get in the deck, even in the reverse. It just has a different meaning. This is about being positive and motivated and free. Your life purpose, a renewal of spirituality and hope and faith. It's Aquarius and Libra. In the reverse, yes, it can mean a lack of faith. and it can mean despair and disconnection. But it's also where we're working on healing. We're working on finding our motivation. We're working on finding our purpose here on earth and our own spirituality. I see some of you breaking away from something traditional. It might be causing some emotional crisis for you as well. It's okay. Just go through the process, you know, and make sure you're not overworking it. But if you pour more work into it, you might be developing a new path for yourself. The star in reverse is about self trust. So in June, the action you'll be taking overall, more than any other Taurus, is learning how to trust yourself and healing from sudden change, upheaval, chaos, and revelation, and even some painful endings. Be gentle with yourself. That's why Nurture Yourself came out for you in your oracle cards. Hidden factors that you're not aware of. These could be happening within you or in a person around you, but I ask Spirit to tell me what's going on deep within for Cancer. So I got the Devil and the Ace of Cups. The Devil is Capricorn. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, this looks good. Some of you have got it big time for a Capricorn. But I'll be honest with you, deep within, hidden factors, often our shadow side that we're not aware of that need to be addressed. You guys might be really forming or wanting to form a strong attachment. This could be about love or a new relationship. The Ace of Cups, it's great, okay? It's about compassion and creativity. And the Devil can often be about desire in a positive way and the honeymoon phase in a relationship. Some of you might be craving this honeymoon phase continuously, or you're dealing with a person that is. Watch for unnecessary attachments. Be cognizant of your shadow self because the Devil is about attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, and desire, and your shadow self and attachments that lead to insecurity that are unhealthy for us. Make sure you're not clinging so much to the idea of starting a new cycle that you're unaware of any red flags around you. Okay, pay attention to your clairaudience and claircognizance. Put yourself first. Based on what I'm seeing here with the star in reverse, you, the Hierophant, not feeling like yourself, and the Queen of Cups in reverse, you might be pouring into something and a lot of work into something that's just to avoid tension, that's really sort of throwing you a little bit out of balance. Release your limiting beliefs about yourself. Explore your darker thoughts. Openly acknowledge them and try to practice detachment. Okay, that's the main thing that you want to watch out for, I think, in June. In your environment, there's a person around you that I think is giving you a little bit of grief. They're showing me that they're the Four of Cups. This person's kind of curmudgeonous. They're a miser. The Four of Pentacles takes an ultra conservative approach and they withhold. They have a scarcity mindset and they're very conservative. It's about money. That's not a bad thing. We all need to save money right now. But it's a person who clings to something so tightly, they won't open up their heart chakra. They hold back, but they hold on at the same time. It's a very frustrating energy with the Four of Cups. It's like a constant emotional reevaluation. Oh, the grass is always greener on the other side. I'm focused on my regrets. I can't stop thinking about something, but I won't do anything about it. This person's constantly emotionally evaluating. And in the meantime, they really don't want to get together this month for a homecoming. This person might be someone that's moved out, or they're in conflict with you, or they're just in a place of transition. This person is focused more on finding inner harmony, and they're not quite sure how to do it, especially in relationship to you. This could be a friend, family member, coworker, or a loved one, a romantic partner. It might be a person that you have a very strong attachment to, and you're not aware of it, okay? They're not really looking for a homecoming right now. As a matter of fact, the Fool to the Eight of Wands in reverse is their action towards you. This person just wants to be carefree. You could be dealing with an Aries, a Gemini, a Sagittarius, or a Libra, possibly. Not necessarily, though. They are very resistant to change. They don't really want to communicate. They don't want to make fast-paced change. This person comes off as a little impulsive, and they just sort of want to be free. The Fool is a great card, but it can be a carelessness and adventurous and childlike even. They very much have a beginner's mindset, and the idea of building any stability with you or quickly coming into alignment with you, they're like, I don't know, I just kind of want to be the Fool here and be carefree and lighthearted. So that might be making you feel despair and making you not feel like yourself. Pay attention to your own attachments. Pay attention to why you feel the need to play it small. You don't really have foresight right now. It's okay. It's time to really pull back and heal a little bit. I think this Knight of Cups energy is a little bit overkill on somebody's part. This person could be Romeo to you, or you could be really pouring it onto them, but you're not really making any progress with the Five of Wands in reverse, despite the fact that you've put a lot of work into it. Again, you might work around this person. And it's not making you feel like a star either, okay? So it's really important to nurture yourself first and foremost. Listen to your clairsenses, okay? They really will help you. And I can see further suggested is the Nine of Wands in reverse. Some of you need to have a little bit better boundaries in relationships right now. The Nine of Wands is resilient. It's courageous. It's persistent. It's life is a battlefield. Love is a battlefield. This is a test of faith. I have good boundaries. I'm worn down. I'm not really getting what I want, but I'm willing to go through tough times. I'm still in the fight, General. I'm wounded, but I can get back to base camp and to the fort. I'm still in this fight with you, with my life. The Nine of Wands in reverse is when it is a struggle just to get through something. You become overwhelmed, defensive, paranoid, and someone just needs to bow out of the fight. You might be very, very nervous that a person, because they're not communicating with you, they're not getting together for stability, that they're about to bow out of the fight with you. Or perhaps you've had to use every inner resource that this month it might become a struggle. Make sure you have really good boundaries. Make sure you tell those around you that you're not really getting what you want and you feel guarded, that you feel tested, that it takes courage and resilience every day to get through this. And you're starting to feel a little drained and disconnected, and that's hard for you to deal with because I see it's a struggle. You might be afraid someone else is going to bow out with you. You're feeling like you need to bow out. You're not feeling like yourself. So I would be very clear about your boundaries with other people this month. And let those around you that love you know that you're feeling disconnected. Definitely face this shadow side. The month wraps up with a pretty interesting 3-card combination. The Two of Cups was the first card that came out, but I clarified it with the Three of Swords and the Hangman, Pisces here. So when the Hangman comes, we're in a situation that we don't feel entirely comfortable with. We've gotten ourselves into a situation that we feel a little backed into a corner and trapped. We face self-limiting beliefs and a lot of uncertainty. It's where we pause and surrender and we let go and we try to take a new perspective about things we simply can't control. So I think what's going to happen is that you're going to have a Two of Cups moment within yourself or with yourself and another person, where you will be able to sit down and have a heart to heart connection. Or you think to yourself, I feel such a strong connection to this person or this situation. I want mutual attraction. I want this heart to heart. I want this partnership. I want to look at this person or this job or even myself in the mirror and feel the best of myself. But first, I have to really acknowledge that I'm feeling some heartbreak and some emotional pain and sorrow and grief and hurt. The Three of Swords is about communicable disease sometimes as well, and it can also be about love triangles. So you might really feel a pull on your heartstrings here in a situation with the Two of Cups. Acknowledge the heartbreak. You might have the chance to have a heart-to-heart conversation with a person. If you do, openly express your emotional pain. But I think this is something really breaking your heart and you're desperately wanting this. I think your response to it as the Hangman is smart. If you've gotten yourself into a situation where you don't have a lot of foresight and you're not sure there's going to be much of a future, you know that it's causing you to be really in your feelings and you're not feeling stable. You know that you need to take better care of yourself. The Hangman does just pause. He just pauses like Pisces does. And it knows that there are sacrifices worth making and there are sacrifices that we can't make. Wait until you see it from a new point of view. That's what the Hangman is about. It's an intentional suspension. And when you allow your spirit and your soul and your earth body to align, you open your eyes and you see something in a different way. If someone has put you on pause, that's because they need a little bit more time to be free, or they're still very much in a beginner's mindset, okay? Don't allow yourself to get trapped in a restricted energy that the devil can sometimes be. The honeymoon phase is great, but I think something's wearing you down. And I think that the end of June will be about really facing your feelings. I see you feeling two ways at once and just deciding to pause and see if you can take a new perspective on it. And then hopefully moving into July, you'll know what you're working for and why. You and a person around you, this could be a work related thing, might really be able to get in there and work through some stuff. You will start to feel better. Again, the most important things this month, Taurus, are continuing to heal from pain. Pay very close attention to your own personal thoughts, feelings, and freedom, and focusing on self care and self love. Nurture yourself first, okay? Zadkiel is reminding you one more time. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people, and pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you, even if they're difficult. They are answers to prayers, whether you realize it or not. Looks like you're going to have some choices to make in June, Taurus. Okay, my bull gang, that's your message for June. I hope this resonates with you and I hope it helps you. I don't see anything horrible here. I see human beings that are wonderful going through typical life on planet Earth. If you think I can help you at all, book a private reading with me. I've never met a Taurus that I didn't love a reading for. I really love reading for you guys. You're one of my favorite signs. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Taurus. Best of luck in life and love in June. I'll see you guys next time.